Happy Tuesday. Who is ready to get their dance on? I know this guy is. You want to come say hi? Come and say hi. Come say hi. Hi. Josh Digger. Here he is. I know. I just got back from Dallas. And it was an incredible event with some fun things there. Was there hanging out on NBC Dallas today, which I can't wait to share out more of those links and videos. Got to meet Stacey London and made some great connections, and just glad to be home, although we're leaving for Atlanta tomorrow this weekend. So, yummy stuff. I can't wait to hear what's going on in your life. So drop in the comments, what are you excited about? What are you celebrating? Yummy things that are happening. Powerful energy. We're going to be unpacking that because I'm going to be sharing the one thing tonight that is going to game change the way you see today and the next week. Okay. So stay tuned for that. Okay. So in the comments, okay, buddy. Okay. We love you. Okay. All right. You got to say peace out. Say bye. John Stigger. Bye. Oh my gosh. He's so cute. Okay. So we're going to unpack this. We're going to be talking about some juicy things. Okay. So the energy that is here today is transformational. Some of you have been talking about this, like, okay, what is this Lion's Gate? What is 8-8? It's just a powerful energy day. So we're going to be unpacking that, and we're going to be talking about what's that one thing that you can do to really align yourself with the energy of today and this week. And that's all about playing a bigger game. How many of you want to play a bigger game? I was speaking at an event today, and it's always amazing to me to see how much time we put into thinking about all the things that we can't do, that we're not feeling like we are not capable of doing, or just spending the time in doom and gloom. Okay. And if this is resonating with you, stay tuned, okay? Because we're going to be sharing that one thing today that's going to be a game changer for you. And it's all about utilizing this current energy to manifest more, okay? And that is really kind of the shift in this, okay? Shifting that belief system. Because if we were to really take a look at your time spent in thought, okay, in contemplation and thought, and the things that you say to yourselves, the research says that we have anywhere from 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day, and we're only conscious of 2,000. Okay, so where are we spending that time? Where are we creating from? Where are we generating that information from? And I will tell you, for most of us, it's not a good place. Having this conversation today and this training, and most of us coming from the place of lack, scarcity, not enoughness, whatever that belief system is. I'm not blank enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not competent enough. Not capable enough. Not young enough. Not old enough. Not whatever that is. And so when we coming from those places, we are not allowing ourselves to create and generate and manifest. Okay. And so today, when we tie back into this day, 8/8, 2023, there's a big buzz about it. If you have not been on social, you wouldn't have missed a thing. But with people that are on social, they're like, what is this? What is this energy? Essentially, this energy allows us to really play in a bigger place and space with energy. Okay. And so this one thing that can really change everything is really being aware of where are we spending our energy. Okay. And I would encourage you to do so. like take a day or a week and just track how much time you're in creation mode of creating the possibilities versus how much time you're in destroying or disabling or sabotaging or talking yourself out of the possibilities. Okay. Because I guarantee you that is happening far more than anything else. Okay. So are you ready for it? Because this energy that's here, this 8-8 energy, is really a magnificent time to speak life into what we desire, to speak life into more of what we are creating. And I'll be honest, it's time, if you have not taken out your daily intentions planner in a hot minute, time to take it out. And we're going to unpack this. We're going to share with you what you can be doing now. So this is going to be actually kind of an active piece, okay? So those that are tuning in, I hope you're not driving. And if so, you got to come back to this tonight when you're no longer driving. And for those that are joining us live, I want you to do this. I want you to go get a piece of paper and pen, okay? I will pause. I'll play some music in your presence or in your absence. Okay, go grab some paper, okay? And for anyone else that's like, what is she gonna do? We're gonna actually play some fun music. We're gonna tap into the energy of the eights, okay? We're gonna type in the 888 hertz. Energy hertz. We're going to play that in the background. And so whether you can hear this or not, it's okay. We're just going to tap into, we're going to play this energy. Okay. This energy, this actually happens to be the energy of abundance, right? How many of you would like to have more abundance in your life? Whether that's abundance of however you define abundance. Okay. I think a lot of times we think about money, but I think about abundance of quality relationships, abundance of possibilities, abundance of ideas. I mean, just abundance of anything and everything. Can you guys hear that? I don't know. Put it in the chat if you're able to hear it. Oopsies. Where did I go with that? And if not, that's okay. We're just gonna play that as we play. So everyone, pen, paper in hand, yes or yes. Okay. If you are joining us and you're wondering what are we talking about, we're going to be talking about this one thing that can change everything. And it starts tonight. It starts with this powerful intention. And we're just a hair into just a little bit into the third quarter. So I'm going to encourage everyone to get out the daily intentions planner, okay, because this is where we can actually do some brainstorming up on this page right here. We can do some brainstorming on this page, or if you just have your blank paper, you can do it there too. And for those that have these planners, you know that the intentions that we talk about are right here listed. Oh my gosh, you can't see that. Are listed right here. Okay. So if you don't have your daily intentions planner, go to our website, talkingwithterry.com, grab your planners. You can get a 4-pack. You get 3 and you get the 4th one free, right? How much better can it get, right? But it goes over the different areas of our lives to start creating by design. Okay, this is the intentionality that we're talking about. So I'm going to invite you to look at those and say, okay, where am I with this? We're going to take a note of where you're at with these current things. And we're also going to tweak, modify if necessary. What is our intentions? What are we speaking life into? And this is the challenge right here. This is the challenge. What if you only could speak? If I have a magic wand, boopity boppity boop, and now you can only speak life into. What was that movie? Oh my goodness! I'm going to space the name. You guys will know. So put it in the chat when I describe it. It was the actor Mel Gibson, and he got struck by lightning or something, and he could hear like women's voice. Oh no, that's not the one I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the one that he couldn't lie. It was Jim Carrey. He couldn't lie. He just couldn't lie. Okay. Bibbity boppity boo. Couldn't lie. Right. So we're going to take that and modify that. We're going to be bibbity boppity boo. And we are going to only speak positivity into what we're creating. And I know that for a lot of us, that's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a hard, I'll be honest. I've had some interesting stuff going on in my life. And even today, I was like, oh, this energy is so intense. Right. And so I'm like, I have this situation going on. It's not a very pleasant situation, I'll be honest. And I was like, okay, if I let my mind wander into that, like I can go in a place that's not going to serve me in the highest and greatest good. What I mean by not serving me is that I can put in a lot of stories. I can fill in a little fantasy here and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I can get really angry and upset. because it's beyond my control. It's something that I don't have control over necessarily because it's external. I have control over how I show up with it, right? And so I'll be honest, like today I was like sitting to think about it and I was like, whew, okay, I have a choice here. I can think about all of this that I wanna, right? Or I can choose to go over here and say, you know what? So today I just kept canceling it out. And I literally, if I was counting little tallies, I bet I said this over 125 times. Okay. I'm not kidding you, because my brain kept wanting to pull attention over here. And I just kept going, okay. And I do a lot of clearing on my own self, but I was getting really clear that I'm not going to give attention to this, okay, because of what that would create. So I had to keep myself really clean and clear today. And sometimes it's not always easy of keeping yourself in the place of like, okay, because I know if I'm in a high vibration, I can actually create easier. And I can actually create against that. Does that make sense? Like, there's this reality happening, and then I can actually start creating a different reality over here. And when I create over here, it can kind of like almost like cancel that out, if that makes sense. So that's like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create this. I'm gonna make sure that I'm staying really laser focused on what it is I am speaking life into and being very conscious and very intentional with those words, right? And so, same with you. If you had to give yourself a day or a week, I would encourage you for this week with this energy that's here and that's present for us, is to really speak life into that in which we desire and that in which we are, committing to. Because we vote every day with our thoughts. And where are we putting the tally marks towards it? We are voting and we're saying we're giving this the attention, we're giving this the credit, okay? Versus giving this the attention and this credit. So we always have choice in that matter, okay? Now, fair enough, unconscious can be a little, and so we got to like tame the programming, if you will. And some of you that have been following me for a long time, you have tons of tools in your toolbox right now. But one of the easiest ways to tame the game and the inner game, right, is really canceling it out. And that is, again, saying to yourself, interesting point of view. So write this down, okay? Interesting point of view that I have this interesting point of view. It's a point of view that you have, whether it's based in reality or not. That's another question for another day. But like, it's here and it's happening, and now it's like, okay, how do I start to make choice by this so I can cancel it out and be intentional with where I'm putting my focus? And so I would say that 3x. So put a 3x behind it 3 times. And then once I have cleared that out, now I can go back to choice. Going back to choice or quote neutrality is the most powerful place to be in, and it allows you to be intentional with the next words that come out of your mouth. And so what I would highly encourage and recommend for those that have not heard this is ask the question, what else is possible? Because now we are starting to open ourselves up to the possibilities, okay? And so going back to the question today, what's that one thing that you can do? It's all about making the commitment, okay? And this is a commitment that you're recommitting to every day. This is the recommitment for yourself, is to what am I speaking life into? What are my intentions with what I'm creating? And I will tell you, if you do nothing else, this, my friends, can be such a game changer. Because we can say, yeah, I'm going to do it one time and be done and be like, okay. But what's happening is we're combating, if you've not done that previous work, to really reprogram the brain, okay? I know some of you have done tons of work and you're like, yeah, I got this, right? Easy peasy. And some of us on this call have not done that deeper work. And we still have neural pathways firing that says, this is true. This old belief is true. This old belief is true. And now let me show you, Terry. Let me tell you, Terry, because here's the evidence that's showing up. And I get that. I understand that. And so when we start to reprogram the brain and start to make these programmable trades, it is like in the brain, we have these neural pathways. And so, it's just like, for those that are out, oh my goodness, it is quite chilly. Let me grab my blanket here. Did not realize it's going to get so chilly so quickly. so I live in Colorado, and so oftentimes people in the mountains, hikers and stuff, they will start to find a track that they like to hike. And so, initially it might just be covered in grass. But over time, the more we put energy into this path, and more people go, oh my gosh, I just found this little, I just think of like Cherry Creek Trail because, at one point in time, this trail was covered in grass. Well, people and uh, hikers and bikers started discovering this trail, and it was like a really fun, pretty, trail. And so over time, it became more popular and more popular and more popular. And what happened was everybody going on this trail actually created a little dirt trail where no plants grow on it now, and it's tiny, it's a little single track trail, right? But that didn't happen overnight, okay? That didn't happen by one person. It was a collective effort. But also, I want you to think about our minds and how it is in our minds. Is that is the same analogy of what's happening in our pathway, right? We are creating these neural pathways. So if we have a belief system that's not serving us and we've gone multiple times, we're going to create that path, and it's going to be easier access. So anytime anything goes wrong, anytime anything, someone, makes fun of us, doesn't say what we want to say, whatever it is, we go right back to it. And that path becomes strengthened over time, and we like zip, and we can get triggered, consciously or unconsciously, really, really quickly. And then again, what happens is we reinforce that pathway 100% of the time, every time we make that choice. Instead of interrupting the system and interrupting the program to say, wait, actually, that was an old belief that I had of myself because XYZ. Now I can make a new choice. I can make a new, I can take a new action. I can create a new behavior when I become consciously aware of that pathway, right? And once we create that pathway, and whether that is whatever tools, techniques that you've had over your pathway, or for myself, it's like, looking at those neural pathways, how do we break those up and really recreate those to where they make sense for us now? Because who we were then is not who we are now, and who we are now is not going to be who we are in, a week, let alone, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, right? And so that is the power of reprogramming the brain, is that we can be intentional. And so, yes, we're going to have to recreate those neural pathways. And that starts today. What are we going to choose? And when we catch ourselves in that behavior, when we catch ourselves making those choices, and just saying, and again, like, honestly, like, sometimes it's just a matter of pausing. If we can get to the place of pausing and just creating a pregnant pause and being like, okay, let me touch base with myself. Let me tune back into what is coming up for me. What am I being called to? What am I speaking to? Because once we create that space, we actually can tap in, tune in, and turn on that ability for us to engage in our internal wisdom, right? Whether you're doing kinesiology or muscle testing, that's another great little hack, okay, to engage this process. But then I can go back and recenter and say, okay, what am I choosing? What neural pathway am I going to commit to today? What pathway am I going to strengthen by choice? And when we start to strengthen by choice, then we can say, okay, I'm going to choose this pathway. And maybe that's sometimes recreating, if that old pathway is no longer serving. It's almost like the ants. I am fascinated by ants. I just think they are just the neatest insect ever, right? I mean, bees and insects, right there. I'll tell you, I get fascinated by watching ants. Anywho, but like ants, what's so interesting is that they'll create this, they have such a sophisticated communication system, which I'm always in awe of. But they create a path when there's food. They secrete a scent. And so it notifies everyone else to go here, right? They're creating this path. But as soon as the food is all gone, the ants then remove the scent, which is mind-boggling to me. I guess they take a little ant legs and boop, 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 boop. I'm sure it's very sophisticated, like a little process. But anyway, they take it away, right? And so again, the same way is like we can actually take away that path and create a new neural path. And it's like, what are we choosing? And so when I go back to like the conversation today, is like, where are we spending our time? Most of us are spending our time in the old stories. We're spending the time in these old parts of, quote, let's call it the old parts of the brain, And we know how that path ends. Okay, we know we've played it. We've played that path, and we've gone down that path time and time again, and we know how that path ends. It's not always the greatest path, right? And so it's really giving ourselves a choice to recreate and recommit. Okay, so as I was talking today, I said, what are those targets? Okay, we don't use goals, we're using targets. What are those targets that we're hitting? Okay, so if you have not taken out your intentions planner and you've not revisited what those are, what they are for you, and recommit to them, because maybe you saw a squirrel, okay, and you got off for a second, it's okay, come back and really commit today, because right now, today, 8-8, the energy is powerful and profound. So I'm going to encourage all of us that write down, okay? You took out your pen and paper before I went on this rant. And you're like, what is happening? Where am I going to write? And I want you to write down what you would like to speak life into and what you would like to manifest. Okay? It has to be, okay, here's my little must-haves. It must be in positive statements, okay? So if you're going to say, oh my gosh, why am I spacing this? Instead of saying I don't, this is so funny. This is such a great, like, I'm gonna unpack this, what's happening. I have such a hard time putting things in the negative because I've trained my brain over time to always flip the perspective, right? And so it's really funny that I'm having a hard time putting something into the negative. Like, I think that's funny. But if you want to say, like, the fastest way I think is like, gosh, I'm like really struggling with putting things in the negative. We want to keep it in the positive. Like, so if you could throw in the comments like something that's negative, that's like, I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do. So you don't want to put like the I don'ts, or I don't want to. We want to throw that into the positive, which is so funny that I'm like struggling with. Again, that's just a testament, like, how I've trained my brain, right? So I'm always looking at the positive, like, how do we put this in the thing? So I always give the example, like, if you're in the dating scene and you're like saying, hey, I would like to, like, find a partner that does this. Don't put like, I don't want someone who smokes. Okay, that's putting in the negative. It's like, I would like to have someone with the opposite of that, being with like someone that cares about their health, or someone that's health conscious, someone that's healthy, someone that cares about their well-being. That is right. Like, that's the example that I'm seriously struggling with giving you, right? So how do we put those back into the positive, and how do we allow ourselves to create with that? Okay, so if there is something that's coming up for you and you're not happy with your results, okay, with your outcomes of that, that's usually a big indicator that there needs to be something that shifts with it. And yay you for identifying what that is. Because if you get inventory of your life right now in all areas, career, finances, family, home, fitness, health, development. When I just say development, like personal development, education, social life and relationships, and then spirituality. If you were to put that on a pie chart, okay, where would you put yourself as far as feeling complete? And there's a great exercise if you just create a pie chart, actually, and you just put those into equal parts, okay? And then you go out from the center. Do I have to demonstrate? You'll quickly understand, like, where are you missing this at, right? I'm doing this, drawing this quickly, so bear with me. So let's say this is the career. Okay. So maybe this to work. Maybe not. Boom, there we go. Goes into focus. But you might say, let's pretend like this is 0 and this is 10. Okay. Where would you? Let's say you're an 8. Okay. So you're an 8, right, on that particular box. And let's say you are on development. Maybe, you're not being able to spend time, and maybe that's a 4, okay? Oopsies. Bear with me. And just keep going around those sections, okay? And it'll start to give you indications where you're at, where you're lacking, where you're struggling. And if you're all 10s, yay you. You're half robot. Congratulations. Just kidding. I'm sure there's someone out there that's all the time. Just kidding. But that varies with our age, our stage. It varies with our current relationships. So, rating that and being consistent with that will give you an indicator where you need support at, where are some more areas that you can start to be intentional with about creating, right? So that one thing is about speaking life into and being consistent with what you are creating and being conscious about that and making the choice to commit to that story. And again, we can always have the negative story, the or the positive story, and we can always make that choice. And the more that we actually are writing this down, that's why I'm telling you, get your pens out, write this down, write 3 to 5 today. What would you like to increase and intend? So again, with this energy, the more we write that down, the more intentional we get, the more powerful it is. And what if you could hold that space to that? And no matter what happens tomorrow, no matter what happens the next day, you stay in a place of like undeniable, holding the faith, holding the space for creating that. Don't get into these stories of not enoughness. If you have the idea, if you've had the thought, guess what, my friends? You have the power to create it. You have the power to bring it into your existence. It's period in the story, right? And so, but what happens is distracted by other people's problems, other people's stories, other people's whatever, other people's naysayers, whatever it is. And so I'm going to invite you to be really, really crystal clear on you and what you're speaking life into, and you do that, and you master that. Game changer, absolutely game changer, because then you start to show up as the powerful influencer that you are in your realm, in your lane, with your message on your sleeve, moving forward and moving mountains for that matter, right? All right, my friends. Gosh, I just kind of like, whew, okay. So for some of you have reached out and asked me, so I guess the buzz is happening around our event. So I'm going to invite you to check out our event. I'm going to drop this into the chat. And I'm going to, for those that are on here, I'm just going to drop that in. If you can see that, it's Breaking Beyond. It's an event like no other. We've partnered with Comedy Works. We are being hosted by Comedy Works there in the Landmark in Colorado, and it's a live event. It meets kind of like TED Talk meets Oprah, and so we have an incredible lineup. Check out the tickets, and for those that are tuning in with me, I'm going to give you a discount code. Okay, use this code. Use this code and save money. And you're going to save yourself some money. Invite a friend. I'm not going to be able to use this code a full time, but for you that are listening and you're like, yes, I want to come in, I want to listen to some of these incredible experts, if I want to tap in and tune into more of this yumminess and learn and really allow myself and my business to go to the next level and the next level, this is an event you do not want to miss, because it's going to be absolutely profound with the conversations that we're having, including you're going to get an amazing notebook filled with some action steps and yummy, juicy stuff. And then I will tell you, there may be a few surprises, okay? A few surprises. You know how I love surprises. So make sure that you come and check this out. Check this event out, and grab a friend and join us. It will be an incredible event like no other. And I'm gonna encourage you to give yourself permission tonight to do this tonight. Okay, 8-8, powerful energy. You get to create this. You get to manifest. You deserve this. Like, you absolutely deserve this. And just like I was telling a person today in conversation, she's like, well, I don't know that I am, what'd she say? I don't know that I am not deserving. It wasn't, I'm not sure that I'm allowing myself to really tap into this, what this means. And so give yourself permission tonight. We're taking one little baby relaxed, right? And speaking life into that window desire. And the neat thing about this, and if this gives you any ease around this, the quote, how is not up to us. Okay? I got tripped up by the how. I got tripped up by how is this going to work, and how is this going to look, and once I got to the place where it's like the how's not mine, and anyone who knows me knows I love outsourcing. I'm like, that's not mine, that's not mine, that's not mine, because once I started learning, I was like, nah. Right? And so when someone told me like the how's not up to me, I'm like, hallelujah, one more thing off my list, right? So the how is not up to us. We just got to stay clear on asking and being clear on receiving it when it comes to us, because when it shows up, that just means that it's time for us to receive it, and receive it with joy and gratitude and love, and just know that you've been a co-creator in that process. Okay, big hugs. I can't wait to see you on September 23rd. Make sure that you come with your questions, because we are going to have a live audience interaction throughout the day. We have an incredible sponsor, Misha Schreier with Headway Financial is sponsoring our events, and we're going to be talking some money mindset. We're going to be giving some quick, amazing hacks. My friends, you just don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out, and FOMO is real, okay? And I never want to be responsible for someone not being able to join us because of FOMO, okay? So join us, come connect with us, and let's make some magic happen, okay? Yes or yes? Yes. All right, my friends. Happy Lionsgate Day today. Let's open ourselves up to all the possibilities. And as always, be bold, be brave, be fearless, be the magic of you. Massive love to all of you. And I'll see you on the 23rd. Yummy. See you next week.